During the summer months, Koreans eat samgyetang or chicken soup with ginseng to beat the heat. Demand for chicken soars in the sultry days of summer. How much chicken is consumed during this period? Korea's economy is in a shock following Samsung Electronics' recent poor earnings. What has caused this, and in what direction should the company move forward? Ultra-high-speed elevators have emerged amid the increasing number of skyscrapers. What is the core principle of ultra-high-speed elevators that enhance speed and stability? The donation culture becomes smart by using mobile and information and communications technology. Let's see various donation methods, including a donation app and smart collection box. 20 years have passed since Kim Il-sung died, but the power succession of the Kim family continues. What changes has North Korea experienced in the 20 years?
Hello, I'm Andrew Salmon and welcome to Bizline. Now, let me tell you this. Right now is a very bad time in Korea to be a chicken. That's because we're in the midst of summer. It is absolutely sweltering. Koreans like to beat the heat by eating samgyetang, a form of chicken soup. That means during the sweaty season, consumption of chicken goes through the roof. So what effect does this unusual consumption pattern have on the overall economy? Let's take a look.
Summer is the peak season for chicken sales in Korea. People look for hot chicken dishes as the weather gets hotter in the country. So, what is the reason for the rise in chicken sales in the hot summer season in Korea? A chicken is stuffed with ginseng, sticky rice, and garlic and boiled for hours. The chicken meat gets softened and the soup becomes medicinal. They are eaten with the cooked sticky rice, which is stuffed inside. It's called samgyetang or ginseng chicken soup, a famous traditional health food in Korea. During this sweaty summer season in Korea, people often stand in line to eat samgyetang, which is itself boiling hot as well.
오늘 초복이라서 삼계탕 먹으러 왔습니다.
복날이라 삼계탕 먹으러 왔는데 사람이 많아서 한 2-30분 정도 기다린 것 같습니다.
Koreans believe they have to eat a bowl of samgyetang and sweat heavily in order to endure the summer season and maintain their health. Eating hot foods when the weather is hot is a way to maintain health in Korea during the summer. That is why samgyetang restaurants thrive during this season.
복날에 삼계탕 먹으니까 개운하고 깔끔하고 완전 좋아요.
네, 이날을 기다렸고요. 삼계탕 먹으니까 몸이 좋고 건강에도 좋은 것 같고 너무 좋습니다. 굿!
오늘 점심에는 한 300그릇 예상하고 있고요. 오늘 매출은 한 500, 600그릇 생각하고 있습니다.
During the summer, there are 3 days when samgyetang restaurants get the busiest. They are 초복, 중복, and 말복, and these 3 days together are called 복날. Chobok, which is calculated using the lunar calendar, fell on July 18th this year, and there were lines formed in front of many samgyetang restaurants. Restaurants try to make the best of the 3 days of Boknar, the days samgyetang is in special demand. Famous hotels have introduced samgyetang on their seasonal menus for the summer to attract customers.
평일날 평균적으로 20에서 30그릇 정도가 판매되고 있습니다. 그리고 오늘은 100그릇 이상 판매가 될 것으로 예상되고 있습니다.
Because samgyetang is the most famous health food in Korea, foreigners who come to the country try it as well.
Korean chicken very delicious.
가장 먹고 싶은 음식이 삼계탕이라고요. 그 맛이 맛있어서 그리고 또 인삼 때문에 그 사람들이 많이 좋아해요. 그래서 무조건 한국에 오면은 삼계탕.
Poknal is assumed to have passed on from China, and it's recorded on the Dongguk Saeshigi, a book that describes seasonal customs published in the latter part of the Joseon dynasty. Chobok, Jungbok, and Malbok fall on June and July on the lunar calendar, and they are 10 days apart. In Korea, Poknal are believed to be the hottest times of the year. Then, what could be the reason that people eat chicken during the hottest days of the year?
그냥 우리가 보양식으로 먹을 때는 삼계탕에다가 닭만 넣는 게 아니라 그래서 찹쌀도 넣고 대추도 넣고 인삼도 넣고 여러 가지 한약재를 넣기 때문에 단백질만 보충하는 게 아니라 여름에 필요한 비타민이라든지 미네랄 같은 걸 갖다가 보충해 주기 때문에 그게 보양식으로 효과가 있는 것입니다.
Koreans' love for samgyetang and fried or roasted chicken can be seen in the statistics. Some 40% of the year's chicken consumption is concentrated in the summer. Chicken farms increase the number of chickens they raise to be prepared for the second quarter when the summer season starts. Statistics Korea says that the number of chickens raised in the second quarter of this year rose 33% from the first quarter.
2012년 기준 1인당 닭고기 소비량은요, 한 13마리 정도가 되고 있습니다. 이는 이제 깃털하고 내장을 제외하고 한 마리를 900g으로 환산하면 11.6kg 정도를 소비하고 있는 수준이 되겠습니다. 특히 여름에는 이제 그 삼복, 초복, 중복, 말복이 들어가 있어서 평균 5마리 정도가 소비되고 있고요. 다시 말씀드리면 이제 1년에 13마리를 소비를 하고 있는데 그 중에서 5마리가 여름에 소비되고 있는 셈입니다.
In preparation for the Poknal, supermarkets have special displays of whole chicken, herbal medicinal ingredients, and sticky rice so that consumers can make samgyetang at home. Housewives bought at least one whole chicken while shopping, which costs about $3 to $4. Because it doesn't cost much to make samgyetang at home, people make it often to rejuvenate their energy.
가족이 건강을 위해서 저렴하고 원재료가 싱싱하다 보니까는 직접 사서 먹게 되는 것 같아요.
우리 삼복 중에서 내일 초복이잖아요. 그러니 또 삼계탕 한번 또 먹어야 될 거 아닙니까? 근데 여기 토종닭에 좋은 게 있어가지고 이제 한번 골라보고 있는 중이에요.
With the rise in chicken consumption during the summer season, does it mean that chicken prices rise as well compared to other seasons? In July this year, the producer price of 1 kilogram of chicken was $1.21, which is a plunge of nearly 40% from the $2.04 from a year earlier.
공급 측면과 더불어서 수요 측면에 어떤 변동성이 커졌는데요. 특히 이제 기대했던 월드컵 특수가 사라지고 경기 침체가 장기화되면서 닭고기 소비가 부진한데 그 원인이 있다고 말씀드릴 수 있습니다.
It also depends on which day Chobok, which is the high season for chicken consumption, falls, whether it's during the weekend or weekday. Last year, Chobok was on Saturday, helping the rise in demand, which also pushed up whole chicken prices. However, Chobok this year was on Friday, and the demand wasn't as high. Now chicken sellers are working hard to increase chicken consumption during Jungbok and Malbok by lowering chicken prices.
우리가 그래서 삼계탕 한 것을 먹게 되면요, 혼자 다 먹는다 할 경우는요, 무조건 칼로리가 최소한 2,000에서 2,500 칼로리 정도 되고요. 또 한 가지는 문제가 뭐냐, 그 안에 든 소금기, 나트륨량이 무려 3g이 넘기 때문에 WH가 권장하는 양보다 1.5배 먹을 수가 있거든요. 그래서 요새 뭐가 좋느냐, 저는 반계탕을 권합니다. 왜? 반만 먹게 되면 칼로리도 반대로 줄게 되고 소금량도 줄게 되기 때문에 이런 점을 유의해서 먹는다면 좋은 건강 보양식으로 자리 잡을 수가 있습니다.
Koreans try to endure the hottest days of the year by eating hot and delicious healthy food and have created a special and healthy chicken consuming custom for the summer season.
They're calling it earnings shock. Samsung Electronics' latest numbers are down 15% quarter on quarter and 25% year on year. And these numbers come at a bad time for the electronics giant. The global smartphone market is now saturated, and Samsung's chairman, Lee Kun-hee, is hospitalized and very seriously ill, leading to speculation in the markets that the leadership is now being passed down to his son, Lee Jae-yong. So, is Samsung in serious trouble? And if so, does its likely new leader have the experience and the vision to lead the company out of the woods? These are some of the questions we have for our guest today. He's a professor at the elite Seoul National University, Dr. Park Sang-in. Welcome back to Bizline.
Good to be here again.
Okay, thanks. So again, to repeat, Samsung Electronics, they saw its numbers down 15% on a quarterly basis, 25% down on a yearly basis. The market was not expecting this. There has been shock. What caused these numbers to fall? Is this Chinese competition? Is it the strong won?
As you mentioned, Chinese competition, a strong Korean won, and less successful launch of new Galaxy model contributed to so-called earnings shock of Samsung Electronics.
Now, if you look at the history of Samsung Electronics, of course, in the past, semicons was the main breadwinner, and that was very cyclical. That's since been replaced by mobile telephones, smartphones. How reliant is Samsung on smartphones?
As far as I recall, almost 70% of revenue of Samsung Electronics comes from mobile business. So in the past, Samsung Electronics basically has three sectors inside. One is mobile, second is, as you mentioned, DRAM. The last one, consumer electronics. In the past, the three sectors occupy almost equally share of the revenue.
So how do you see these falling earnings at Samsung? Is this just temporary or cyclical, or is this actually a structural problem at the group?
Diminishing revenue of Samsung Electronics may reflect a product cycle of the smartphone industry. In that sense, it is long-term and structural phenomenon.
Okay. Given all the above, and given the apparent lack of any brand new widget or a new growth engine at Samsung Electronics, are the golden days over?
I'm afraid that the golden days of Samsung Electronics may be over. However, mobile devices such as smartphones are key elements in digital convergence. And I believe digital convergence is still in the early stages. Hence, it is possible that Samsung Electronics may remain a major player in the age of digital convergence, at least for some period of time.
I'd imagine that.
However, the economic theory and empirical facts indicate that eventually a new leader will emerge in the dynamic industry.
Yeah, I mean, that having been said, digital convergence in which all the devices speak to each other and interconnect would appear to be a great potential earner for Samsung, given that it's involved in pretty much every sector of electronics, if they can pull it off, right?
Sure, that's a kind of chance for Samsung Electronics.
Right. Okay, I think the market is carefully eyeing the vice chairman, Lee Jae-yong, his son, who would be the third generation head of Samsung if he does indeed take over. I'm told by sources in the market he's actually very international in his outlook. He's young, he gets technology, and he's a very, very good relationship manager. Is that significant?
That could be a significant when he learned the big business like Samsung Group. However, he didn't prove any success or business achievement so far. So that's a reason. I mean, people have some kind of worry or some kind of uncertainty about the Samsung, the future of the Samsung.
I mean, he's also had a number of setbacks, hasn't he? I believe he was put in charge of eSamsung as his first sort of business position, and that went badly, belly up. And then, of course, was also involved in the inheritance scandal, which severely impacted the Samsung brand. How serious are these two issues if you look at his qualifications for leadership of this very important company?
Unfortunately, I believe there is an increasing discrepancy between the owner family interests and the entire shareholder interest.
Why is it increasing now?
Because if it's related to inheritance process, for instance, the owner family, the Lee family is the owner family of Samsung Group. The Lee family owns only 3% of the entire Samsung Group stocks. Naturally, they have to use a lot of illegal expedient measures in the process of the ownership passing down, such as inside trading, tunneling, indirect cross-shareholding among affiliate firms. So these are kind of the malpractice so far done by owner family of Korea in the process of an inheritance.
Right. I mean, this is ongoing, but let's just go back to his business outlook, if we may. Again, we know really very, very little about what Lee Kun-hee's business achievements are because it's been very, very non-transparent. Although people in Samsung do say he's something of a genius behind closed doors. But in terms of Lee Jae-yong, even if he hasn't inherited his father's genius, do you not think that there are some very, very smart, visionary executives in place, the professional managers in Samsung, who will continue to guide the company forward, regardless of who the chairman is?
Let's hope so. But you know, it has not been tested yet. You know, time will tell us. But still, I mean, you know, Samsung Group says one thing at some place, another thing, another place. Like, you know, because of the strong leadership of the chairman Lee Kun-hee, they achieved this and that. And at the same time, they say they have a very professional, the management teams. Without the owners' direct intervention or etc., they will do fine. So it sounds to me very contradictory to each other. So we'll see what will be the truth.
Okay. If and when Lee Jae-yong does take over, would you expect any significant change in the way Samsung does business, be it its innovation cycle, its corporate structure, there's some talk of going to a holding company, or indeed its corporate governance?
As far as innovations are concerned, I think Lee Jae-yong will push harder convergence technology between IT and biotech. On the other hand, the ownership structure will be reset in the process of the succession to the third generation of Lee family, including Lee Jae-yong. And there will be the key issue in the ownership structure change will be the separation of financial affiliates from non-financial affiliates of the Samsung
Sorry,
Group.
what's the relevance of that to the group?
That's the kind of the accuracy here of Samsung Group, because the Lee family control the Samsung Group because the financial firm, the Samsung Life Insurance, has a significant share in Samsung Electronics. So that is very problematic in many sense, because first of all, the Samsung Life Insurance have to diversify their portfolio. They should not put all the money in one company, which in the case the Samsung Electronics. And it is kind of permitted as an exception of the Korean law. That is also very problematic. So they should be changed. And I believe to prevent any ripple effect or possible failure of the Samsung Electronics into the Samsung Life Insurance, we have to firmly establish the separation between these two firms.
Given all these things, if you were in a position to advise Lee Jae-yong on what he should do, what changes he should implement within Samsung, which is a massive company, what would you advise him to do?
I think there are two very important things to do for his family and entire Samsung Group and Korea. The first, Samsung Group has to comply with international standards in labor issues. And second, Lee Jae-yong should position himself as an activist shareholder and transform himself from industrial capitalist to financial capitalist like Bill Gates. These are two things I'd like to give him as advice.
Expand upon that last thought. I'm not entirely clear on what you mean. What kind of role are you suggesting he should play?
Yeah, I think probably, he should not try to be a CEO, I don't know whether if he is comfortable with the position and he believes that that is the best interest for the entire shareholder of Samsung Electronics and the Samsung Group, I guess, that will be okay. However, in the history of Korean Jabil, they use that position for the family interests using inside the trading and the tunneling, etc., etc.
Right.
So if the kind of loophole or the expedient way out are prevented by the law or regulation by Korean government.
And most laws and regulations are moving in that direction, to restrict these abusive practices.
Right. So then the Samsung Lee family's interest will be consistent with the shareholder interest. That means maximize the value of the company. So then the question is, who will be in charge to maximize the value of the company? Who will be the most eligible person? So Lee Jae-yong and the other shareholder believe that he is the one, the person, then he will. But if not the case, probably he has better role. He can pick up a good, a CEO, and he play as significant shareholder to supervise. And like Bill Gates does recently, and then he can diversify his monies into lots of financial portfolio. He act as
a venture capitalist.
Right. So he facilitates the entry and the innovation in Korean economy. I believe many good things will happen
if those riches are invested in that area. Fair enough. Okay. You mentioned that there are three issues here. There's the Lee family, there's the Samsung group, and there's also the Korean economy. Now, in 2013, Samsung's revenues accounted for nearly 27% of South Korea's GDP. Is Korea's economy and its stock market overexposed to Samsung right now?
Yeah, I'm afraid the Korea economy and stock market are overexposed to Samsung. As you may know, Samsung Group has about 70 affiliates, including Samsung Electronics. If Samsung Electronics fails, like Nokia, then the entire Samsung Group and the Korea economy will fail as well. I call it Samsung risk. As a minimal measure to prevent Samsung risk, the Korean government and National Assembly have to impose regulations for the separation between financial and non-financial affiliates, specifically, separation between Samsung Electronics and Samsung Life Insurance.
I think, many people would say that the task of the first two Lees, Lee Byung-chul and Lee Gun-hee, was to build up Samsung. The task of the third generation Lee, which is most likely Lee Jae-yong, may be to start actually breaking up the group. It's almost too big, is it not?
I totally agree, and that's totally new kind of thinking. So he needs new kind of thinking because the environment and the circumstances are all new to Koreans and the Samsung Group. So he need a bold step to change fundamental things.
Bold steps. Well, we'll see if that happens, because certainly all eyes right now are indeed on Samsung. Dr. Park, as usual, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being very outspoken, as usual, and we'd like to have you on BizLine once again.
Thank you.
You can't just take any part-time job, even if it is just a temporary job. This week's App of the Week is Alba Cheonguk, that recommends the perfect part-time job for you among countless jobs. When you want to find a job near your house, you can find various part-time jobs within 3 kilometers from your location. When you enter your data, including gender and age, and select the type of job and desired work period, you will find the jobs that suit your conditions. If you choose one of them, you can get detailed information on the job. If you have made up your mind, you can easily apply for the job through an email or a phone call. Now you can find a customized job in an easy way.
Vertical living is on the rise, if you'll excuse the pun. Skyscrapers of over 50 stories are now commonplace. Skyscrapers of over 100 stories are far from unusual. And obviously residents of these ultra-high buildings don't want to take the stairs all the way to the top. And this is driving a demand for ultra-high-speed elevators. So what technologies are required of these ultra-high-speed, ultra-high-altitude lifts? Let's take an inside look.
One invention that has played an important role in modern-day architecture and elevators. With the growing number of constructions of high-rise buildings, competition is on to develop the fastest elevator. And it is reported that the world's fastest elevator is in Korea. Let's find out the ultra-high-speed elevator that is equipped with the state-of-the-art technology. Countries around the world are competing to build the tallest skyscraper. As buildings get taller and taller, demands are rising for ultra-high-speed elevators.
고대로부터 높이 날고 싶다 혹은 높이 올라가고 싶다라는 욕망이 있었기 때문에 그 건물들은 계속 초고층화될 것이고 특히 도시화가 진행되면서 수직도시라는 개념이 들어오게 되면 건물들의 높이는 필연적으로 증가하게 될 것입니다. 따라서 이러한 그 환경 변화에 대응하여서 초고속 승강기의 어떤 미래는 수요가 좀 더 증가하게 될 것이고 또 좀 더 절실해질 것이라고 생각하고 있습니다.
An ultra-high-speed elevator travels at more than 300 meters per minute. Recently, elevators moving at 600 meters per minute were installed at a tall building in Busan. It broke the latest record set in Korea, which was 540 meters per minute. This is the Korean company that developed the ultra-high-speed elevator. A few years back, this company had built a tower to test the world's fastest elevator, and the news made headlines in the industry. The elevator in the test tower can move at a speed of 1,080 meters per minute.
지금 현재 엘리베이터들이 각 소재와 어떠한 물리적인 특징 때문에 한 번에 올라갈 수 있는 거리는 약 600m 전후로 제한이 되어 있습니다. 저희는 지금 그 부분을 갖다가 새로운 소재와 기술을 이용하여서 1000m 이상을 한 번에 올라갈 수 있는 초고속 승강기를 개발하고 또 그 승객의 안전을 위해서 좀 더 나은 시스템을 개발하고 있습니다.
A traction machine, which works as a pulley in an elevator, is the core component in operating an elevator. Until now, regular elevators had a geared traction machine, which contains a reduction gear within the machine. But with the development of motor control, elevators can travel safely without the reduction gear, allowing application of gearless traction machine on an ultra-high-speed elevator. Moreover, to ensure safety in the case of an emergency, traction machine is designed with many motors.
초고속 엘리베이터는 기어리스와 전동기, 권상기에 쓰는 것이 기본이고 일반용은 3.7에서 37kW 정도의 소용량인 반면에 초고속 엘리베이터는 200kW 이상의 대용량이 됩니다. 또한 기동 토르크가 일반용은 200에서 250% 정도의 기동 토르크가 필요한 데 비해 초고속 엘리베이터는 700% 이상의 기동 토르크가 요구됩니다.
This large capacity traction machine can lift the elevator at 1,080 meters a minute, taking only 25 seconds to reach the top of this 50-story test tower. The 600 meter per minute ultra high-speed elevator, which is in commercial use, takes 32 seconds to climb a 200 meters tall skyscraper. However, if an elevator travels at a high speed, friction with air can cause noise and vibration. To prevent experiencing such discomfort, special know-hows are essential in making ultra-high-speed elevators. To minimize air resistance to near zero, the top and bottom of the elevator is attached with streamlined shaped capsules. To keep the noise out, the elevator has a double wall and its sliding doors are pushed into the car upon closing. Not only that, they conduct regular noise and vibration tests to find solutions for any problems that might come up in operating an elevator.
본 장비는 음장 가시화 장비라는 건데 이제 외부에서 소음이 어디서 들어오는지를 확인하기 위해서 그러니까 여기 내부에 31개의 마이크로폰이랑 12개의 카메라가 달려 있어서 그 소스가 어디 들어오는지를 정확하게 사진을 찍어서 그 위치를 매핑을 해주면 아 여기가 원인이구나 하는 걸 저희가 파악하게 되겠죠. 그러니까 이런 장비들을 이용하면 실제 필드에서 발생하는 여러 가지 진동소음 문제에 대해서 우리가 좀 더 명확한 원인 규명을 할 수 있으니까 각각 문제를 해결할 수 있는 그런 방법이 될 것 같습니다.
The elevator also has atmospheric pressure control to prevent ear pain, which usually occurs during lifting or landing of an airplane. Cutting-edge techniques are in constant upgrade to deal with natural disasters such as gale and earthquakes.
지진이나 강풍에 의한 빌딩의 흔들림이 발생할 수가 있습니다. 그래서 이 빌딩의 흔들림이 발생할 경우에 이것을 사전에 감지 및 그 예측을 해서 엘리베이터를 정지시킬 것인지 또 운행시킬 것인지를 결정하는 이런 것들이 좀 필요로 하게 됩니다. 그래서 이것을 감지하고 예측하는 그런 시스템을 우리는 빌딩 스웨이 시스템이라고 그러는데 이것들이 초고층 엘리베이터는 필수적으로 감안이 들어가게 되겠습니다.
Nowadays, there are elevators developed to fulfill the user's convenience, taking a step further from thinking of just speed and safety. For example, there is a double-deck elevator.
더블데크 엘리베이터는 두 개의 엘리베이터를 2층 버스처럼 엮어서 한 번에 많은 사람들을 이동할 수 있도록 하는 엘리베이터를 의미합니다. 이 부분에서 중요한 것은 더블데크 승강기에서 각 그 층마다 건물의 높이가 틀리기 때문에 두 엘리베이터의 간격을 조정할 수 있는 기술이 굉장히 중요한 기술이 되겠습니다.
An ultra-high-speed elevator, the combination of advanced manufacturing techniques and information technology. Some are even envisioning of building a space elevator in the future that could reach out into space, which goes beyond skyscrapers.
현재 엘리베이터가 수직으로만 올라가서 제한된 공간에서의 서비스만 하고 있지만 좀 더 이제 미래의 기술이 발전하게 되면은 수직 수평 엘리베이터, 즉 수직과 수평을 동시에 움직일 수 있는 엘리베이터가 개발이 되어서 좀 더 사람들이 좀 더 적은 거리를 편하게 이동할 수 있는 그러한 시스템이 개발되리라고 생각하고 있습니다.
By 2018, the tallest building on Earth will be completed, which is 1,000 meters tall and thus will rewrite the history of skyscrapers. Ultra-high-speed elevators are evolving fast along with the rise in constructions of skyscrapers around the world, and Korea is at the center of its advanced technology.
Unless your name happens to be Scrooge, donating money to charity is a good thing. But it's always required some fairly onerous paperwork and banking arrangements. But that is no longer the case. Today, philanthropy has become easier than ever, thanks to new advances in information and communications technologies.
Having a warm heart for your neighbors or opening a thin wallet for someone isn't easy because you also need to open your mind. But now, donating has become simple and easy with ICT technology. Smart donations are rising, helped by various fun ways to donate. In this theater, where many people come to watch movies, there is a red collection box that makes people pause. Rather than a charity pot or transparent collection box, the Korean Red Cross has installed this electronic collection box with a touchscreen function to create a new donation culture in the digital era.
그쵸, 요즘은 다 터치로 하는 게 일상화되어 있는데 이런 기계로 한 번의 터치만으로 기부를 할 수 있다는 게 젊은이들의 이목을 끌고 더 많은 기부를 유도해낼 수 있는 것 같아요.
Smart collection boxes installed at 170 locations, including hypermarkets, public institutions, airports, and colleges nationwide. When you put cash into the machine and enter your mobile phone number, details of your donation are sent as a text message to your mobile phone. This is gaining popularity with the number of users reaching 12,000 people a day. It also added fun to donating by taking pictures of donors and sending the pictures to their mobile phones.
뭔지 예전에 기부함이라고 생각하면 보통 이렇게 동그란 저금통 같은 형태에다가 돈만 넣고 가는 그런 형태였는데 좀 색다르게 IT 마치 큰 스마트폰을 보는 듯한 느낌으로 해서 버튼을 본인이 직접 눌러가면서 할 수 있어서 재미도 있고, 그다음에 바로 사진을 찍어서 이렇게 저희 핸드폰 지금 문자로도 왔더라고요. 그래서 사진 찍은 것들이 바로 문자로도 오고, 그다음에 제가 찍은 사진을 화면에서도 확인할 수 있고, 이런 부분들이 이런 IT 기술이 적용된 부분들이 좀 더 재밌게 만들어주는, 기부를 재밌게 만들어주는 요소가 아닌가 싶습니다.
Korea ranked 45th place among 146 countries in the Global Donation Index released by a charity foundation in the United Kingdom. This is quite low considering the size of the Korean economy and its international status. However, about half of the Korean people responded that they are willing to donate, and in fact, such cases are rapidly increasing.
보통 우리나라가 짧은 기간 동안 근대화와 산업화, 민주화 등 발전지향적인 압축 성장을 이뤄가는 과정에서 주위를 돌아보는 나눔의 문화가 미처 제대로 정착되지 못했기 때문으로 해석되기도 합니다. 하지만 우리 국민 중에서 약 49%가 향후에 기부할 의향이 있다고 답한 가운데 유산을 기부할 의향이 있다고 생각하는 사람들도 36%에 이르는 것으로 조사되고 있습니다.
Until now, most donations have been made through fundraising organizations, religious bodies, or the workplace. After that, people also donated small amounts of money through the internet or phone calls. Now, donation methods have further increased as advanced information technology enabled people to donate through their mobile phones. Armed with remarkable ideas, donation apps are waiting for the touch of smartphone users. Existing supporters organizations are also adopting such donation methods. Helped by such a trend, Compassion has also launched a mobile app. Compassion exists as an international child advocacy organization that releases children from spiritual, economic, social, and physical poverty and enables them to become responsible, fulfilled Christian adults.
결연 채널을 더 확장해서 더 많은 어린이들을 양육하고 싶었고 그러기 위한 수단으로 모바일 앱을 준비하게 됐는데요. 우리나라 스마트폰 보급률이 세계적으로 높게 70% 후반대로 나오고 있기 때문에 저희들이 모바일 앱을 준비하면 이게 후원자들이 후원을 진행할 수 있는 매우 친근한 채널이 될 수 있거든요. 현재는 연령대가 젊어질수록 오히려 기존에 저희가 후원했던 지로나 ARS나 또는 길거리 모금 이런 방법보다는 스마트폰으로 결연하고 후원하는 것을 더 친근하고 보편적으로 받아들이시기 때문에 저희들이 앱을 준비하게 되었고요.
By downloading the Compassion Korea app, you can check its nurturing program and information on poor children from 26 countries and apply for a one-on-one nurturing of a child. You can check information on status of donated money, management of gift money, and various cultural events while exchanging letters with the child you are supporting.
앱에서 쉽게 편지를 쓰실 수 있게 해드리고 또 저희가 예문들도 간단히 앱에서 준비를 해놨거든요. 그래서 어린이들한테 편지들이 더 많이 가게 되고 또 그 어린이들은 편지가 단순히 후원자님들과 소식을 전하는 수단 정도가 아니라 자신들이 얼마나 사랑받고 있는지 그런 가난한 환경에서 듣지 못했던 희망의 메시지들을 편지를 통해서 듣기 때문에 아이들이 올바르게 희망을 갖고 자라나는 데 큰 도움을 주고 있습니다.
Users say they feel closer to the children they support by using the app rather than Compassion's conventional system. They can get news faster on the children they support and exchange photos and letters quickly without going to a post office.
특별히 편리해진 부분은 생일 같은 거를 맞춰서 생일을 축하해 주기가 굉장히 힘들어요. 왜냐면 한국말로 쓰고 또 그게 번역이 되고 그 아이에게 축하 편지가 가기까지 한 2-3달이 소요되거든요. 그런데 이 어플리케이션을 통해서 한 이틀 전, 하루 전에 혹은 당일에도 제가 바로 이메일을 보내면 그 아이가 받을 수 있기 때문에요. 생일을 축하해 주기가 굉장히 좋아진 것 같아요.
As ICT advances, analog donation methods are also quickly improving, like rapidly spreading compassion. Now we need more attention and a system that supports this to further move forward.
이런 부분들이 좀 많은 사람들에게 더 알려지고 한다라면은 인터넷이나 앱을 통한 이런 기부 문화가 확산되는 데 굉장히 좋은 역할을 할 수 있는 그런 플랫폼이 되지 않을까 생각을 해봅니다.
Without spending a large amount of money and without taking a lot of time and effort, a donation culture where we can share happiness without much burden is being established. Smart Donations, created by smart technology, is providing more happiness.
Years ago, on 8th of July 1994, Kim Il-sung, the founding father of North Korea and the man who unleashed the Korean War, passed away. At the time, there were high hopes in the outside world that North Korea would at last change, reform, and come in from the cold. Fast forward to the present, and it's now relevant to ask, has there been any meaningful change in North Korea in the last 20 years? Or is it still continuing to defy all social, economic, and historical trends?
North Koreans observe July 8th, that marks the death of their national founder and eternal great leader Kim Il-sung, every year. But this year's commemoration had been prepared by authorities with extra care and fuss, as it marks the turn of 2 decades since the passing of their beloved leader.
위대한 김일성 동지와 김정일 동지를 백산 대국의 영상으로 영원히 높이 모시고 경애하는 김정은 동지의 영도를 따라
Thousands of North Koreans made their annual pilgrimage to the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun, that serves as the mausoleum for their founding leader Kim Il-sung and his son, Kim Jong-il, who took power after the elder died in 1994 at the age of 82. 2 decades have passed since North Korea's first leader died, but the cult of personality around the Kim family remains intact, as a hereditary rule has now run into the 3rd generation. Both inside and outside the country was shocked at the news of the passing of the great leader, who not only founded the nation but reigned for 4.5 decades.
김일성이가 또 독재자로서 국제사회에 늘 알려졌고, 특히 그 한국 전쟁을 일으킨 당사자 아니겠습니까? 김일성 주석이 사망을 했고, 북한의 주민들 또 그리고 그 북한의 지도부들, 엘리트들이겠죠. 상당히 그 일종의 그 눈물바다가 되었다, 저는 그렇게 기억을 하고 있습니다.
Kim Il-sung's embalmed body lies inside a glass sarcophagus at his former palace residence that had been renovated into one of the world's largest mausoleums.
과거 소련에서 레닌이 사망한 이후에 그의 시신을 미이라 형태로 만들어서 보관했던 그 기술을 북한이 받아들인 것이었습니다. 김일성이 비록 사망하긴 했지만은 북한은 김일성이 항상 우리와 함께한다, 이런 식의 구호를 가지고서 김일성이 마치 여전히 살아있는 신인 것처럼 그렇게 이제 끊임없는 어떤 숭배의 대상으로 이제 간주해 왔습니다.
Wishful thinking that unification may be accelerated in the wake of Kim Il-sung's death was quickly dashed when his son Kim Jong-il immediately succeeded to the supreme leader mantle. When the latter died in 2011, his young son hurriedly stepped into his seat.
북한 체제에서 군부가 과대 성장해 있기 때문에 결코 이제 군부가 남한 체제의 통합을 결코 용인하지 않을 것이고, 또 이제 북한의 공안기관이 주민들을 철저하게 통제하고 있기 때문에 주민들이 뭐 체제에 대해서 불만이 있다 하더라도 저항한다는 것을 뭐 꿈꾸기가 어렵습니다.
Kim Jong-il, anointed heir to Kim Il-sung since the 1980s, assisted his father's rule for 14 years before he officially succeeded his deceased father. A similar personality cult had been built to justify the hereditary rule.
헌법과 당규약에 김일성, 김정일의 조선, 김일성, 김정일의 민족 뭐 이렇게 다 명시를 해놨잖아요. 김씨 혈족의 왕도 국가, 왕의 국가를 할까요? 뭐 이런 정치는 지속될 것이다. 북한은 일찍이 그 사상과 이런 그 선정, 우상화 이런 것이 아주 발전된 나라 아니겠습니까? 그래서 결국 인민들에게 세뇌를 시키고 교육시키고 통제하고 그래 되겠죠.
Pyongyang rushed to install an heir after Kim Jong-il suffered a stroke in 2008. After fierce competition among the princes, the youngest son and little-known Kim Jong-un was named the heir in 2010.
The Organization and Guidance Department gathered members of the party and the military to confirm that Kim Jong-un is the de facto successor of the North Korean regime. And there were lots of meetings and rallies to confirm the people's loyalty to Kim Jong-un as well.
There had been much expectations that North Korea may finally open up after Swiss-educated Kim Jong-un in his 20s succeeded to power. But the young and inexperienced ruler proved to be as unruly and daring as his father, defying international warnings even from China to carry out the third nuclear test. The single dictatorial rule stands intact. Despite skepticism in earlier stages, Kim Jong-un has safely built his own power base.
공안 기관이 확고하게 주민들을 통제하고 있고 또 북한의 핵심 엘리트들이 체제 유지에 대해서 이해관계를 같이 하고 있기 때문에 단기간 내에 김정은에 대한 어떤 불만으로 북한 체제가 붕괴할 가능성은 현실적으로 희박합니다.
The elite class enjoys Western lifestyle and luxuries in return for their loyalty to the Kim family, even as the majority population is pushed further into poverty. Since the Kim Il-sung era, North Korea sought to build its economy and military, but most of the resources went into developing its nuclear capabilities and its military. The result? A wrecked economy and a starving people.
상당히 지금 딜레마에 빠져있다. 핵이라든지 미사일, 이런 폐기, 또 그리고 인권 신장, 더 나아가서 주민들을 먹는 문제 해결을 비롯해가지고 적어도 계획개방 조치 이런 것이 있어야만이 악의 축, 불량 국가에서 벗어나서 정상적인 국가로 갈 수 있겠죠.
North Korea stands more isolated than ever due to sudden cold shoulders from China. It entirely relies on Beijing for both morale and financial support amid international sanctions against its military provocations. But much has changed since fifth-generation leader Xi Jinping ascended to the presidency a year ago. Xi recently upended a long-held tradition of a Chinese state head by making a visit to Seoul ahead of Pyongyang in his first trip to the Korean peninsula.
유엔을 비롯한 국제사회의 제재 압박 이것이 오랫동안 지속되는 만성화, 이 인민경제가 만성적으로 어려움에 처해 있습니다. 육자회담을 비롯한 대화국면으로 가지 않을까. 저는 그리고 그렇게 가야만이 김정은 제1위원장이 강조하는 인민들의 먹는 문제 해결, 강성국가 건설 갈 수 있다. 이런 것을 하지 않으면 결국은 허구한 말장난에 불과하다.
North Korea has succeeded in preserving the longest hereditary rule in the world's modern history. But the monarchy legacy, sustained dangerously at the risk of people's lives and the threat of nuclear weapons, looks as insecure as a candle in the wind.
And that's all we have time for on BizLine this week. But do join us again next week because the vacation season is upon us. So where do Koreans go? What do they do? How much do they spend? And what is the overall economic impact of this holiday activity? We'll find out next time. But that's all for now. I'm Andrew Salmon. This was BizLine. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.